Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be reacting to
BTS Mythbusters. 9 narratives fans keep getting wrong.
Everyone loves a good underdog story. But when it comes to BTS, and quite honestly, many other acts, a lot of the struggle tales are either out of context or severely exaggerated. From they flopped at debut to they recorded their very first album in a garage, some of these myths have been repeated so often they practically become folklore. But receipts don't lie. Let's set the record straight on the most popular and frankly funniest
Okay.
misconceptions about BTS.
I wonder if I know what some of these misconceptions.
These two she mentioned, I haven't heard that they started in Garage and that they flopped. I've
Here's a
never heard
good
that.
one. They were snubbed and had no fans and struggled across the board when they started. The
Never
fact
heard
is that
that.
they
I
swept
think I
Rookie
remember
of the Year
this
awards
because
and were
that's why
recognized early.
I kind of associate like with Corded. Like at first, BTS didn't do so well, wasn't accepted by the popular.
I think they had like a hard time getting accepted by the industry, not by the people though. See,
Industry?
yeah,
That's
like
what they're talking about, industry?
no, they're saying like, oh, BTS just failed, straight up flopped, like didn't sell, no nothing. I think the issue, what based on what we seen on
Uh,
Rise to Bangtan, Rise, that that
yeah, right.
documentary, it's the industry had a hard time accepting them because they didn't come from the big label and they did numbers bigger than the big labels. So the
Mm.
industries kind of accused them of fake sales or fake streams, like stuff like that. But
Oh.
they did great. It's just the
Mm-hmm.
industry is like, oh, this can't be. So that's what I don't
Mm.
remember hearing that. Oh, BTS flopped when they came out. Like the first album was a
Mm.
flop or anything. I
Ah,
don't remember hearing
okay.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, hold up.
Good one. They were snubbed and had no fans and struggled across the board when they
Now, yeah, the
started.
struggle across the board, like that, I think part of it is true because they did struggle, but like struggling being accepted, not struggling like getting fans or selling
Mm-hmm.
out. So part of the struggle I do think is
But no
true
more
though.
dream. Like, okay, so the first, like with the number in 2012. Wait, oh, most stream Koreans. Oh, okay. Okay. Now I understand.
Critically. What they struggled with was sales. They were critically praised for embodying the youth hip hop concept. And beyond the story, the members were open about the fact that the sales were unstable. In their first four releases, they would do well in one release, and the next one would show some improvement, but not enough. And given the company's poor financial standing, they needed more. Bang Shi-yuk talked about this in his interview with Yoo Jae-suk, where he was joined by Park Jin-young, a longtime friend and founder of JYP. He specifically mentioned 2014 KCON, where BTS actually returned to Korea from the US victorious. Myth number two: Big Hit filed for bankruptcy prior to BTS's debut. The fact is, they did not file. Right.
May have heard this. I remember something, but I may have heard like, oh, they didn't do like financially they weren't well, or hard to say if I have heard like the term bankruptcy though.
Before the debut of BTS, he did consider closing it, but instead took another loan just to keep things going because he believed in the
Wow.
members. Prior to debut of BTS, Big Hit Entertainment was co-managing 2AM, a group signed under JYP. They also had their own group, Glam. Things started going south for Big Hit when the members of 2AM started enlisting in the military. The management arrangements started winding down, and Glam got into a scandal. BTS was not ready, and Big Hit was bleeding, deep in debt. The thought of declaring bankruptcy was ever present, but it didn't close down ever. BTS was Big Hit's lifeline. They were about 74 million deep. He was going to shut it down, but the then vice president asked him how much faith he actually had on BTS. He realized that each member of BTS was talented, and he felt a sense of duty to continue and give it a try. Myth number three: their Troubadour concert was empty and it was never promoted. The fact is that
Oh,
it was
I don't know
actually
what that is.
announced, well, 48 hours before the actual show, but also Big Hit released a press release. As part of the American Hustle Live show, BTS was to do a proper show in Troubadour Club in LA. It was a free one. 2 days before the actual show, Big Hit distributed a press release, and Jeff Benjamin actually picked up the story. BTS also tweeted about it. But more importantly, Armies showed up. They more than filled up the space. The venue advised fans to line up an hour before the show, but some armies were actually there at 8 a.m. and the show was supposed to be 6. The venue could only accommodate
Damn.
180 people, and more than 200 people had to be turned away. Yes, as
Wow.
early as then, BTS already had a very strong fan base in the US. Myth number 4, they ignored the US. And it was actually America who discovered them. This is a little bit more nuanced because BTS participated in the KCON 2014 held in Los Angeles.
I don't remember hearing this that the America reached out to them.
And that's where Bang Shi-yuk realized that BTS's global potential is actually real. He decided to ask the group if they wanted to give it a try. In 2014 KCON, BTS was actually the first performer. They took the very first slot. But the crowd reaction, Bang Shi-yuk realized, wasn't just polite. It was actually really loud and real and shocking. In the Harvard business paper, studying the success of BTS, Bang Shi-yuk said that he asked the members if they wanted to give the North American market a try. He also asked the staffers of Big Hit for their opinion. By the first half of 2015, Hwayang Yonghwa, or
Why would
The
they say
Most Beautiful
no?
Moment in Life, dropped.
I say yes.
Well, I'm
Yes.
sure there is risks involved. You know, if you do focus on that, you kind of give up Korean market a little bit. So you know, trade-offs. So you kind of, it has to be like a
You're
everybody
gonna
has
say
to
no?
agree. I would never say no. No, I would not say no. But I can see like some more conservative people would say no. Maybe you know, they if they don't want to change, they don't want to risk. You know, they don't want to gamble because it was a gamble essentially. So I can see somebody saying no, but they said yes.
And things started picking up. BTS actually won their very first music show. The staffers voted against market expansion and wanted to first concentrate in Korea so that they could financially recover. But of course, Bang Shi-yuk and BTS decided to push through with the expansion, and it's really their call. They released Fire and hired a US
I can
publicist,
understand the
Eshi Lizette.
staffers. The staffers like, we close to having no money and you want to risk it all for you don't know what, and I'll be out of a job.
Yeah.
Army's US mobilization went into full gear. So while it is true that the indication of success came first via KCON, BTS worked their butt off to continue evolving their music and performances. Big Hit did their part to support BTS, and of course, Army did what we could do. And the rest, as they say, is history. Myth number 5. Only the rap line wrote and produced, and the vocal line just sang what was given to them. The truth is that vocal line contributed melodies and lines even before
Yeah, I think I don't know if like I heard it as a narrative, but I kind of always thought that way. That mostly, you know, the rappers wrote.
formal credits or registrations were common for them.
I, but the reason I felt that way because when you look at the most credits, it's like RM, Sugar, and I think J Hope. I think they have the most credits. Like you know, when we have done the credits list in Korea. Like RM is on top. Like I think in top three, Sugar is close, and then J Hope. The rest, I think they have some credits, but they're nowhere near by the amount of credits that those three have.
Jungkook actually wrote the legendary line, "My name is Jungkook, the scale is nationwide." It's actually a wordplay in Korean. Jin also stated in their live stream that Jimin wrote the melody for Blood, Sweat, and Tears, and the others actually acknowledged it. Neither Jungkook nor Jimin was credited in those. And in one behind the scenes video they released in Bangtan TV, they actually
I
showed
wonder why.
Jungkook was helping the rap line in coming up with a melody and also revising some lines for Danger. So while the
I wonder why we don't get
So why
credit.
they don't get credit? Because generally
Okay.
speaking, you add one word and it's a credit.
Also, money. You get paid.
Yeah. Why they didn't get credit for that?
rap line took majority of the writing and the production, the vocal line actually contributed significantly. They didn't have songwriting credits in the early years of BTS, but that didn't mean they didn't write. The fact is that the vocal line actually came up with some of the most iconic lines and melodies of BTS. It makes it even more impressive considering they didn't have any experience in writing prior to joining the team. Next
Maybe
up,
for
members weren't
credibility
allowed
purposes,
What?
that you couldn't have like a vocalist having credits on the rap parts.
But it's not just rap part, it's a whole song. You don't know which lines we're talking about.
But maybe it's for credibility purposes for the industry, because the industry already doubted them
I don't
already.
know. I don't know.
But to me, it would be. I don't know why I think that should be
I
corrected.
think that should be. They should
think
get
they
the
should get
credit.
credits
Yeah,
for
I
that.
think they should get credits for that.
Allowed to do anything outside a group. Actually, early on, RM already started collaborating with different artists all by himself as a solo act. RM collaborated with Wale. RM also had other collaborations, including one with Tiger JK. Suga did state that if anybody in BTS wanted to come up with their own song, a solo song, or collaborate with anybody, that member has to lead everything from beginning to end. Myth number 7. It was the
I guess basically saying we ain't going to do the work for you. If you want it, you
I
gotta.
mean, I can see that
I can.
because they
I don't
people
have
in
a
the
problem with
past
that
have
either.
wrote but not gotten credits.
Yeah.
So you don't come ask me to
Yeah.
help me. I'm not gonna get no credit.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that.
company big hit that engineered the most beautiful moment in life, or Wayang Yonghwa Universe. Fact: Wayang Yonghwa has been repeatedly credited to Suga. Even in the book Beyond the Story, they called it Suga's magnum opus.
Yeah, I'm not
Yes, it is
familiar with this.
likely that a team actually helped in fully developing the Bangtan universe, but it doesn't change the fact that it came from Suga. Extended narrative is both a creative and marketing technique that is being used by many artists, not just in Korea, but in other parts of the world. It is important that we all know who started it all. It is BTS, Suga specifically. Next, BTS recorded in a garage because Big Hit didn't have any money to rent a studio. The fact is that, yes, they did record in a garage, but that happened in the US while they were doing American Hustle Life. It was not a permanent arrangement. They didn't stop recording while they were doing the show, American Hustle Life. This was more than a decade ago. Recording studios aren't as affordable as they are now. Again, the story is more nuanced. Yes, they were not certainly dripping in cash, but recording in a garage was a temporary solution. All the other songs they recorded in Korea were actually done in a proper studio. Remember that this happened more than a decade ago. Recording studios are not as
I'm pretty sure
affordable,
it's pretty
not as
cool to say,
convenient,
"Oh,
and
we got started in the garage."
There's
Adds a little roughness to
there's a little
you.
cool factor to that. Yeah,
Yeah.
like when you think, oh, Amazon started in a garage. Uh, I'm sure like other tech companies started in a garage. There is a little lore to starting in a garage, you know.
since they didn't want to stop working, they made do with the garage. And for our last one, BTS's Love Yourself, Speak Yourself stadium tour was way smaller. They sold less tickets. That's why their gross revenue has been surpassed. Actually, BTS never had a stadium tour. Love Yourself was an arena tour. Speak Yourself was the encore for Love Yourself, and that's why they had fewer dates. Map of the Soul tour was supposed to be their very first stadium tour, and it was canceled because of COVID. So if anybody wants to compare a stadium tour number to BTS's arena tour, let them have it. Their Permission to Dance on Stage was a series of concerts. Again, not a tour. It had 12 shows and grossed $230.7 million dollars from 3.416 million tickets sold across all formats, in person and live stream.
Wow. I'm
I hope
impressed
that
by
was
how
fun,
the
but
live
also
stream was ever able to host the people like that. So we had issues in Love is
And
Blind
Netflix, yeah.
when we were trying to watch live the final the reunion, and they couldn't
Yeah.
even host that. So that's pretty impressive.
And there was like a boxing fight I tried to watch, Jake Paul, I think, on Netflix. I couldn't watch it. It was buffering. Yeah, so it is. Yeah, but I I knew some of these, but most I've never heard. And the ones I did know, I feel like we knew the actual truth, but the fact is kind of similar to a myth. It's just a little, switching of the words. But interesting video, nevertheless. Yeah.
Guys, of course, let us know your thoughts. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord, and always, share as much kindness as possible.